YouTube, how's it going? The Goat House is back, and I finally have my coach hire rankings ranking all 8 of the new head coaches. They're finally official, so I thought, why not? We're going to go from 8 to 1. I'm going to talk a little bit about my thoughts on each of the head coaches, too. I believe in most of these guys, if they're towards the bottom of the rankings, doesn't mean I hate the hire. I don't think it's good. There's only really 2 that I don't like, 1 that I really don't like. The rest of them I believe in. There's a couple that I really like, so we'll get into all of these. But right before we do, please go ahead and click on that link in the description or go to @thegoathouseYT. That's our Twitter. Lots of talk on there about football, lots of draft talk. And then there's our new Instagram as well. Link in the description for that. Lots of good stuff on there, so please follow us on those. And 20K is our subscriber goal. Please help us get there by clicking that subscribe button and like on the videos. We much appreciate as well. We got plenty of free agency and draft content coming. Lots of exciting stuff. This Friday live stream, I'll be revealing my top 100 based off this season that just finished. Lots of fun stuff here. Let's get on to the coach rankings. Number 8 is going to be good old crazy eyes Adam Gase. I don't like this hire. It really makes no sense to me. I mean, they played against them twice a year. They saw that the Dolphins didn't have too much success. I thought the Dolphins had, some talent here and there too. They needed a quarterback, but really Gase is supposed to be the quarterback guru. He hasn't really proven that to me. It makes no sense. He's really proven the opposite, honestly. Tannehill was supposed to be better. I guess he couldn't stay on the field. He had Cutler. Cutler didn't really, I don't think he ever really improved. He's kind of just stayed as an average quarterback, So that doesn't make sense to me. He's failed elsewhere, and he gets another opportunity. And on top of it, they let him bring some of his staff in. That just failed elsewhere. Do they think, something magical is going to happen, all of a sudden? I think the Dolphins roster is better than the Jets. I guess that doesn't have 100% to do with it, but it just doesn't make sense when teams hire guys that failed elsewhere. It doesn't really work out. The times it did work out, it's rare, but you see guys the first one that pops in my head is Pete Carroll. He didn't have too much success in the NFL, goes to college, learns a lot. He's there for a while, with USC, and then he comes back, but he's put in a really pretty good system too. The Jets still got a lot of growing to do. So there's a few examples that it worked out, but there's more to it. Gase didn't have that in between like a guy like Pete Carroll had, where he learned more. So I don't know. I never agree with hiring guys that failed elsewhere. So he's going to be 8. They have a lot of potential on their team. They need more, so I can't really count them out of being a good team in the future. I'm really just talking about the coach hire here. 7 is Matt LaFleur, the Packers. I don't hate this one anywhere near as the Gase one, but I still don't really like it. He was with McVay. I guess that's the reason here, but I have a theory that I think they wanted to get a guy that really Rodgers can coach more, which I don't really understand. With a coach is a coach, a player is a player. They didn't want a guy that would coach, they would boss around Rodgers, I guess. So, and from what I've heard, from what I gathered from trusted sources, is that Rodgers had a big say on who, which is okay because he's the quarterback, but he had a big say on who they would get. So I think a lot of it has to do with Rodgers being more in control. And the other thing is LaFleur didn't really impress me all that much with the Titans. I thought I would see more. I thought he was what the Titans needed. They've been running for so long with guys like Mariota, and they don't have the best receiver unit, but they have athletic receiver unit, and they got Derrick Henry, and they got they've been running an old school offense, a pro style that doesn't work anymore with a guy like Mariota. That's not what you do. So they get LaFleur. I'm like, this is going to work perfectly. He's going to change this offense. No, it pretty much stayed the same. Didn't really run the right plays, run the right offense. It got a little better as the season went on. But the main thing is Derrick Henry was dominant, but he didn't realize that he could play until the end of the season. How do you not recognize the talent you have? So, and that's funny because the big problem with McCarthy was recognizing the running back talent between Jamal Williams and Aaron Jones there, and they didn't know which one to play. He was splitting. That's the main reason they were bashing McCarthy, other than the play calling. Same exact situation happened in Tennessee with this guy. So, he's young. He's got a lot to learn still. It's not terrible hire, but, I think it's more of Aaron Rodgers as the head coach, which isn't, I guess, a terrible thing. But I think there's, you got your quarterbacks and you got your head coaches. There's a reason why there's 2 different things. But we'll see. We'll see. Now we're going to the ones I definitely like. Even though this is going to be number 6, I don't love it, but it could work out. And it's Zach Taylor, former quarterback, actually, and, recently became the coach, another McVay guy. which is weird because LaFleur is kind of known as the better McVay guy, but really didn't like what he did with Tennessee, so that's why Zach Taylor is ahead of him. Young team. They drafted well last year. I think they'll continue to grow. I think Dalton will be their quarterback for now. We'll see what they can do, see if they find, a future quarterback. But I like Taylor that he has experience playing quarterback. Just feels like yesterday he was playing quarterback. We were watching him playing college ball, but I think it can work out. Don't love it, but new coach, different look for the Bengals. That's what they needed for a while, and they finally did it, and it's a different look, and that's a good thing. Overall, it's a positive. So that comes in at number 6. Number 5 is going to be Cliff Kingsbury, the Cardinals' new head coach. I like this one a lot more than other people do. I think people are bashing it because he had a losing record at Texas Tech, which is just true. He didn't have the best resume for his college ball, but he brings something different. The NFL is changing. I'd rather have this than a guy that's failed in the NFL. You don't know what this guy's never failed in the NFL. He knows offense. They lost a lot of games at Texas Tech because of their defense, and maybe he couldn't recruit the best defensive guys. There's really no recruiting in the NFL. In a way, there is, but that's up to the front office here in this situation. So he doesn't have to worry about recruiting. He just worries about running that offense, and that could be a good thing. That's the reason why he could have more success in the NFL than in college, because you take away that recruiting and the defense that he doesn't have to worry about too much. That can result in a good thing. And NFL defense has been struggling with the new style offenses, and he's going to bring something different in there. I think he fits with Rosen. I think it could be a unique offense, and it could be good, and it could throw some teams off here. So I actually like the Kingsbury hire. I don't like love it, but in a way it's pretty borderline there for me, from liking it to loving it, because I think it could be unique. And again, he doesn't have to worry about the defense and recruiting the defense. So that's the reason why they lost a lot. They didn't lose because of him, really. Obviously, you would like him to do a better job and win more games. That's his job. But I think he can have some success here, and I think they do need to get some more players in there. The roster isn't where it needs to be, so it could be a little rough at first, but I have confidence. I have confidence in Kingsbury. I kind of like the hire. Number 4 is going to be Freddie Kitchens, the Browns' new head coach. This is something that had to be done here. We don't know how he's going to be as a head coach and leading a team. That's why it couldn't be higher on this list. But I do like it because it needed to be done, because he developed a bond with Baker Mayfield. Once he was in charge of that offense got much better. Baker got much better. Really, all those players did, and they were able to win some games. So this is they had to do this. They had to, because if they try to keep it as offense coordinator, either most likely he stays as the offense coordinator unless he gets another head coaching job or offer. There's a chance he could get mad that he doesn't get the head coach, so then he goes elsewhere to be offense coordinator. There's a small chance of that, but mainly if he was the offense coordinator, he would probably be hired as a head coach somewhere down the line, so then you don't really have him anymore. So I think it had to be done. There's still some questions. Can he lead a team as the head coach? I don't doubt him, but I couldn't put him in the top 3 because of that. But it is a good hire. It had to be done, like I said. So the Browns and Freddie Kitchens come in at number 4. Number 3 on the list is going to be Bruce Arians, the Buccaneers' new coach. Bruce Arians, great coach. That's pretty much why it's at 3. It's just Bruce Arians is a great coach, great mind. That's really why it's at 3. The Bucs are a weird team. I don't know if coaching really held them back. If you watch the games, you can't really specifically say the play calling's terrible here. Everybody has bad play calling here and there. Really, I think they need more talent on defense, but their offense really should have been doing more because of the talent they have. So at the same time as that coaches, it's a weird situation with the Buccaneers. I know they gotta build up that defense a little bit, but Bruce Arians is a good coach, and that's why he's at 3. I think this team will get better. They need a running back on the offensive side too. Maybe Ronald Jones gets a chance now. I like Ronald Jones a lot, so maybe he can learn this playbook instead of the old one. Maybe it was too complex. I don't know about that, but maybe. I have trust in Arians. That's really why he's at 3. Is this team going to go from worst to first? I was about to say probably not, but it's actually not out of the question there. It could happen, but. With Arians there and the staff he brought in, I think it's going to be pretty good. It's pretty good at 3. It doesn't really wow me. It's definitely very good, but it doesn't really wow me. It doesn't really make me, we're going to get on the top 2. The ones that make me feel pretty good about these hires here. And 1 and 2 is pretty much a tie. It's really close. Vic Fangio, it just makes so much sense to me. That defense, what he did with the Bears defense. The Broncos defense in terms of names, the Broncos might have more big names, honestly. Not that the Broncos defense will be better than the Bears was last year. They could be. But they have those guys that just have not been able to do it these last couple of years. They should have been winning more games because of their what was supposed to be elite defense, and they couldn't do it. So Fangio gets in there, perfect fit scheme wise, perfect fit player wise. Von Miller's his Khalil Mack. They got Bradley Chubb in there too. Like it's gonna be. He's got young DBs. He's made some young DBs on the Bears that kind of random guys that people don't know that well, and made them look good. And then Fuller, who was kind of known as a bust, turns around and makes him a all-pro player. So we got young players here on the Broncos that he can do that with, and guys like Von Miller, like I said, and they got a high draft pick. It makes a lot of sense. Offense is a little bit of the question. They got to get something going on offense. If they got Kubiak with Fangio, I'd be all over this Broncos hype train for playoffs this next season. Not saying they can't get there. I think this defense will be dominant, but offense is still the question. I do believe in Keenum still. They could get a quarterback, maybe a Drew Lock or whoever, if somebody falls to him there at 10, or maybe they trade up. But, they do have the playmakers in offense, 2 young receivers. But this is mainly a defensive hire, and it makes sense because it's a fit, scheme-wise, player-wise, a guy that just had the best defense in football, which people didn't really expect. We expected a damn good one, but not the best by far. And this team should have been a playoff team because of their defense, and their defense wasn't playing at that level. Now they should because of this. So that makes sense to me. It's just I love Bruce Arians. I like that hire, but this one just makes me feel like, I'm not a Broncos fan either. It just makes me feel real good because of the fit. I can feel this one. And the same with number 1, and it's pretty close, 1 and 2. Brian Flores, and through the playoffs, he made himself number 1 here. The Patriots they really don't have the big names on defense. They're well-known guys because they're on the Patriots, but they're not the best playmakers. Some guys kind of up there in age where they still make plays. But this guy in the defense really wasn't that good during the regular season, but the adjustments and what he had going, and the best blitz packages I've ever seen in my life, won the Super Bowl. Literally, the Patriots offense didn't, just think about that. The Patriots offense, Tom Brady, all those guys, they didn't win the Super Bowl. The Patriots defense won the Super Bowl because they had the best blitz game I've ever seen, I think. And he's using the weapons he has, the linebackers. He has Trey Flowers on the edge to help out, but the blitzes come with the linebackers and the DBs, random DBs blitzing. And I look at what the Dolphins have, and look what he's able to work with. They need a D-line. They need guys like Charles Harris to step up. He's supposed to be something special. Maybe he can be. They need some help on the D-line. They do need to get the offense in order. But look at those linebackers. Kiko Alonso, are you kidding me? This guy's going to have so much fun with Kiko Alonso. Baker had a great rookie season. He's got a bright future. Very athletic for these blitzes and to be able to drop back in coverage. McMillan's a young guy. Look at these DBs. These are Brian Flores DBs, let me tell you. He's going to have a lot of fun with Minkah Fitzpatrick. I'm excited for the Dolphins for this because it makes so much sense to me. They just got to get the offense going. They got to get their quarterback. They could get better at receiver, running back, offensive line, but those are solid position groups. They're not like weak there. They need a quarterback, pretty much an offense. They need a little D-line help. But he made it work. He made it work what the Patriots had. They don't have the best talent, like I said, and I think there's even more fit here with the linebacker and DB unit for Brian Flores' defense and blitzes. It's going to be fun. So really 1 and 2 are pretty damn close, and then Bruce Arians is pretty much locked in at 3. Kitchens were pretty much locked in at 4. And I think the rest are locked in too. They kind of separate themselves, but 1 and 2 is pretty close. So I'm excited to see if these coaches can turn around the teams right away. We've seen that happen recently, but some of these could take some time because, the top 2 teams need to figure out their offense. Buccaneers need to figure out their defense. So we'll see if this can work, how quick it can work. But for the most part, I like these hires. A little outside the box. I don't like when teams go and hire a guy that failed elsewhere. For the most part, these are new guys and guys that, like Brian Flores and like Vic Fangio, they just had success with their defenses. One had the best defense in football, and one just won the Super Bowl because of his defense and his adjustments and his play calling. So, should be a lot of fun. A lot of good defensive upgrades here at the top, and I like that. I'm a defensive guy, you know, even though offense I think really gets you to the, obviously based off this year, gets you to the Super Bowl, but the defense won the Super Bowl. Kind of strange. But that's going to do it for this one. We got plenty more coming to the channel about free agency, draft, all kinds of fun stuff. Follow our Twitter, lots of updates on there. You'll see stuff on there before it gets to the YouTube. Follow the Instagram. This Friday, I'm ranking my NFL Top 100 based off the 2018 season combined with the 2019 playoffs. It has a little bit to do with it. So that should be fun. You know, other guys will be on the show, part of our channel, and we'll see their reaction. We'll get your guys' reaction. It should be a lot of fun. That's going to do it for this one, though. Thanks for everyone's support. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more. Goodbye.